fact, the Ironhead. That's the main branch of my family tree.
You kids talking about the ghost in the basement?
See, he's seen it. And it scared all the hair right off his head.
Remember that 90s puppet with all the swag? Yup, Cousin Skeeter.
But we're not Ruby. I resent that.
Me too. And if you need to reach us, we set up a tent across the street.
It had us laughing with wild adventures and unforgettable moments. But here's the big question. What really happened to Skeeter? Why did this hit show just vanish? The rumors? Juicy. The drama, even juicier. From behind-the-scenes chaos to shocking secrets, we're uncovering it all. Get ready, because the truth behind Cousin Skeeter will leave you speechless. Let's get started. All right, let's take a trip down memory lane. Cousin Skeeter lit up Nickelodeon from 1998 to 2002 and was a massive hit. It starred Robert Rashard as Bobby.
Yeah, I can't believe they actually look so very, very good.
A regular kid whose life takes a wild turn when his unpredictable cousin Skeeter shows up. Skeeter, by the way, isn't your typical cousin. He's actually a puppet voiced by Bill Bellamy.
An operation? Bobby, what's wrong, man? Tonsils? Appendicitis? Hernia?
Yes, that Bill Bellamy, with Drew Massey working the strings alongside Alice Denian. But here's the kicker. In the show, everyone treats Skeeter like he's a real guy, no puppet strings attached. The show's got drama, friendship, and all the life lessons you'd expect from a Nickelodeon classic. Megan Good was in the mix too, playing Nina, Bobby's friend.
That was so beautiful. You're a hero. That's what you are. Am I still invited on the trip?
While Rondell Sheridan and Angela Means play Bobby's super supportive parents, Andre and Vanessa.
That way I can spend some QT with my sweet tea at the fair.
Uncle Andre.
So yeah, Cousin Skeeter was every bit as hilarious and unusual as you'd imagine. I mean, who wouldn't love the sitcom? Plus, it was one of the few shows back then that brought a black family to the forefront of Nickelodeon.
You're a bowler, Uncle A. And bowlers are tough. Okay. All right, you don't care about Hawaii, do you?
But just 3 years later, poof, it was gone. And trust me, it wasn't because people stopped watching. Word on the street is that the production costs for maintaining Skeeter, his upkeep, the puppeteers, the set modifications, you name it, were skyrocketing. It was a way bigger investment than Nickelodeon had anticipated. Rumor has it that by season 3, the budget was stretched so thin, they were practically holding Skeeter together with duct tape. Now, the vibe on set was mostly positive. Everyone talks about how supportive and collaborative things were. The whole cast really lifted each other up. This camaraderie made all the comedy and heartfelt moments come alive on screen. And let's not forget the creative differences. Like any show, Cousin Skeeter had its share of disagreements about where the story was heading. As the series went on, some of the cast felt it was losing a bit of its original magic, which definitely led to some tension. But even after the camera stopped rolling, the cast stayed tight. They still get nostalgic about their time together and often share those memories with fans who loved watching them grow up. But wait, it gets juicier. Let's talk about Bill Bellamy. Sources close to the show say that Bellamy's popularity was exploding, which was amazing for him, but not so much for Nickelodeon. He was allegedly asking for a bigger paycheck, and honestly, can you blame him? Bill's voice was half the reason Skeeter had that hilarious swagger.
Okay, my bad luck having, chain letter destroying, cousin doubting friend. How do you explain that right there?
Still, the network wasn't quite ready to open their wallets. And instead of making it work, they supposedly decided that maybe Skeeter's time was up. Then there's another theory, and this one's got some serious intrigue. Some say the network wanted to rebrand itself, focusing more on newer animated content that was cheaper to produce and could appeal to younger audiences. By the early 2000s, Nickelodeon was gearing up for a new generation of shows like SpongeBob SquarePants,
Pick up order!
and The Fairly Odd Parents.
Ready, Cosmo?
Ready, Wanda. 1, 2, 3!
And they supposedly thought, why invest in a show with a costly puppet when animated shows were pulling in big audiences for a fraction of the price? But that's not all. There's one last rumor floating around that'll make your jaw drop. Some insiders believe Cousin Skeeter ended because the show was too progressive for its time. Yes, you heard that right. Skeeter tackled some serious issues, including racial representation, friendships, and family dynamics that weren't always safe for the traditional kids network's programming. Some say Nickelodeon got cold feet, not wanting to deal with potential backlash. Oh, Cousin Skeeter was definitely a mixed bag with critics. A writer for The Hollywood Reporter wasn't impressed, calling the characters underdeveloped and saying the show leaned a little too heavily on one-liners. Ouch! Some critics thought Bobby and Skeeter's contrasting personalities were supposed to send a positive message to kids, but Skeeter's bizarre behavior sometimes overshadowed the lesson. And let's be real, viewers couldn't help but question why no one ever acknowledged Skeeter was, you know, a puppet. Then there was Ray Richmond from Variety, who did not hold back. He called Cousin Skeeter borderline offensive, describing it as Nickelodeon's version of black culture stuck in the Stone Age. Yikes! But it wasn't all harsh reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gave it some serious props, naming it one of the 5 90s kids shows that paved the way for black representation on TV. They highlighted the episode The Bicycle Thief, which tackled police interactions with black kids, a pretty bold move for a kids show back then. Then there's the issue of representation. Cousin Skeeter was one of the few shows at the time with a predominantly black cast, which was a big deal for Nickelodeon.
I know I will.
Okay, but lock the front door!
I did.
But critics were quick to question whether the humor always hit the mark or if it sometimes leaned into stereotypes. While some fans adored the show's comedic take, others worried it might be feeding into caricatures that could be seen as a little off-key. Oh, Cousin Skeeter was no stranger to drama, on and off the screen. For starters, Megan Good, who played Nina, revealed a jaw-dropping story about facing bullying on set. She shared in a recent interview that she was actually jumped by a group of girls while filming. Talk about intense. But Megan didn't back down. She stood her ground and proved she was tougher than the drama swirling around her. Then the creative direction also had people talking. The show's writing was sometimes all over the place, leaving viewers and critics wondering if the producers really knew where they wanted the story to go. That wasn't the only eyebrow raiser. When Cousin Skeeter started doing crossover episodes with other Nickelodeon hits like Kenan and Kel, fans were divided.
Hey, I was the one who first spotted this dump. If I give you the map, that makes me a chump. The gold belongs to me.
Some loved the collabs, but others felt they were just gimmicks, diluting Skeeter's unique vibe. And when it came to cultural impact, well, it was a mixed bag. While many appreciated the laughs and originality, some fans felt the show didn't always capture the full depth of black culture. Even though it's remembered fondly today, Cousin Skeeter sparked debates on representation, content quality, and authenticity that are still just as relevant in TV conversations now. Turns out, Cousin Skeeter was just the start for its cast. Cancellation didn't hold anyone back. Bill Bellamy, who voiced Skeeter, kept everyone laughing in comedy, landing roles in shows like Mr. Box Office and Insecure. He has a net worth of $6 million.
Jail! This is so stressful. He's my best client.
As for Robert Rashard, aka Bobby, he scored big by becoming a series regular on One-on-One.
Gonna play at our school fundraiser, and I was picked to open for him.
And even showed up in Coach Carter. His net worth stands at a whopping $400,000.
Any unexcused absences, any other disciplinary issues at school, you can nullify this agreement and send me to any school you want.
Then there's Megan Good, who totally blew up, starring in major films like Think Like a Man.
It's open.
I don't go out on dates with guys who don't open the door for me.
Deliver Us from Eva.
I didn't make the man's eyes all beady and shifty and whatnot. What?
You Got Served.
Oh, wait, hold up. Is this Mr. Man?
I know.
Shazam, and even leading the series Deception. Her net worth is $5 million. Rondell Sheridan, who played Bobby's dad, went on to become everyone's favorite TV dad, Victor Baxter, on That's So Raven. A huge deal back then. And while Angela Means didn't stick with acting, she found her groove as a vegan chef and humanitarian, proving her talents stretch far beyond the screen. Her net worth is estimated to be around $300,000. So, if you thought Cousin Skeeter was the end of the road for these stars, think again. The show was just the springboard to some seriously successful careers. So, after all the whispers, budget cuts, and rumored drama, Cousin Skeeter met its end. It was definitely a loss for fans, and we never got that closure we wanted. No last goodbyes, no finale, just Skeeter, gone forever, like a puppet mystery wrapped in an enigma. At the time, none of the cast really spilled any details about why the show ended. That was just how Nickelodeon shows were in the 90s. They disappear without much fanfare, leaving fans guessing. Turns out, it usually wasn't drama behind the scenes, but more about the network's plans. Nickelodeon would sometimes switch things up or cut shows simply to keep up with new trends. It's crazy, right? Fans always thought something big went down, but it was just typical network shuffling. And here we are, over 20 years later, still wondering what could have been. Would Cousin Skeeter have lasted if it had just a bit more support from the network? Maybe, but one thing's for sure, Skeeter is unforgettable, and he'll always hold a place in our 90s hearts.